Welcome to the Visibility Vixen podcast, where we create space to grow our brand with intention and clarity, one episode at a time. Join us as we explore the many aspects of entrepreneurship, start loving the journey instead of the destination, and begin building a legacy that lasts. Here's your host, Michelle Lewis.
Hey, we are so excited to be back with you, my darling audience. I am so excited to have Angie Lee back on the show. Welcome, Angie.
Woohoo! Hey, guys.
I remember the last time I had Angie on the show, and she was like, I used to have a podcast, and I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going to restart it. And she has. It's called Hungry for More, right?
Yeah, I started it back up after 8 months of taking a break and giving a little hiatus to it. And I'm really excited I did, because it was one of those passion projects that like talks to you at night in the middle of the night. You're like, I gotta do this.
Oh my gosh, the night voices, yes.
I got the calling, and I was like, you know what? It's happening. I'm doing it. And I'm ready to roll with it. Like this time I'm back with I'm going to go all the way.
Yeah. Well, you're so talented at it. And you've had incredible guests so far, and you've been enjoying the process, right? That's awesome. Good. Well, and for those of you that don't know, Angie is someone that I've looked at for a long time online, and I pretty much just messaged her and was like, hey, you want to be friends and come on my podcast and blah, 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 blah. And now we're daydreaming about her coming out to LA. So she is just one of those fantastic people, and she's so gifted at bringing her message to her audience. So before we dive in any further, Angie, for people that don't know you, this is their first time seeing you, give us a little bit of a background and what you're doing now in the online space.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was immediately attracted to you too. You have a beautiful presence. You're so confident. So everything you said, I totally feel the same about you. So huge thank you to you. I'm a business strategy coach for wellness entrepreneurs. So my business partner and I own the Wellpreneur Business Academy, which is an academy that we run that teaches wellness professionals, health coaches, personal trainers, nutritionists, how to essentially monetize their brands and go from social media to sales. So my background is health coaching. I was a big blogger that turned my blog into a large business. And from there, transitioned into being really passionate about life and business coaching, and realizing that I wanted to discuss money and finances and branding and live video and digital marketing and all of these other aspects with women. So transitioned into business coaching, and here I am now teaching wellness coaches what I did.
And if you are friends with Angie online, or you follow her on social media, she has a great Instagram following, and on Facebook, she's just constantly, I think it's every day. You are online, you're live streaming, you're giving great content, and you're not only getting a ton of views, but a ton of engagement. And so this week in the visibility training, what I'm going over is your message, because it's so hard to find clarity on this, but it's not only integral to obviously producing content, but being able to do it over and over and over and over again. So I want to kind of touch on that today, if you wouldn't mind talking about how you're able to just machine gun fire content every single day on Facebook without kind of running out, because I think people are afraid almost to give too much, because they're like, well, then what am I going to talk about tomorrow? So what's your process of breaking it down?
Yeah, this is a beautiful question. And it's something that we coach our girls around, because a lot of people think that creativity is an exhaustible resource, and I don't think it is. I think if you are a creator, and if you are, I've known since I was little, and you knew probably as a little girl, I like creating things. I like coming up with things. I like taking nothing and turning it into something. So I think people, you just kind of know. And if you're not creative or don't think you are, one, that might be a limiting belief. You probably are more creative than you think, especially if you're a woman. We are born to create things, AKA a child. So totally. We are creators and we are creative. So I think that it's a few things. I think, one, I don't get my creativity sitting in front of my computer. So people think do you sit there and write it all out? I get my ideas in the shower, running, yoga, outside. I actually get ideas, and then my notepad on my phone is literally so organized to the T of this week's video, this week's videos. And then I email it all to myself, or I'll email it to my business partner and say, what do you think of this? She's like, awesome. So let's do it. So then I'll map out on Sunday nights. I'll sit down and say, okay, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm going to do this live. Tuesday, Thursday, I'll do this live. That was a great idea. That was a good idea. And then I figure out how to make it into a digestible 5 to 10 minute video. I craft a sexy title with it, and then I put it together. Another thing we do, which is kind of not really a secret, but women are really like, oh my goodness, you guys do this. We reverse engineer. So what we'll do is we're continuously polling our audience and speaking with our women. So what we'll say to them in our private group or on videos, I'll say, was this helpful? Did you love this? If so, comment below. Or I'll say, what is the biggest pain point for you when it comes to building a social brand as a health coach? What is your biggest pain point when it comes to blah, blah, blah? And we'll give surveys, we'll poll our audience all of the time. And when we do that, we actually take their language verbatim and then we turn it into content. So if women are writing, I just can't seem to find new customers for my network marketing business. I can't seem to get over my money blocks. We literally highlight it, we copy it, and we have a whole sheet, a spreadsheet, a joint Google Doc that we will then take that and then turn it into videos. So I literally have about 10,000 videos that I can just start doing because we're listening to our people. So listen to your people.
Wow. That's such a good point that in the new year, I was sitting back and thinking like, okay, what is something that I can provide to my group that I haven't received yet, but would love to receive? And so my group is at a manageable size right now. I'm sure I can't do this forever, but I just started PMing every single person and asking like, hey, happy new year. Like, what are you struggling with your business? What are your goals? Blah, blah, blah. And I was shocked. I wanted to share this with you. 95% of them said that they had either stalled or they hadn't moved forward like they wanted to last year because they just aren't clear on what they want to do, what they want to center their business around, what they're supposed to be creating. And it really shocked me because that's a huge percentage. So people are feeling blocked, and I'm so glad you're teaching on this and I'm teaching on this to help find that clarity. And what a good point to not sit there in front of your computer in Facebook groups, in e-courses, panicking because it seems like everyone else has it together and you're the only one that doesn't. And what are you going to do? And what's next? And by the end of the day, you've just gone crazy and you haven't created anything. So what a good point to get out of your space. Do what you love to do. I love to go to a coffee shop and I have 3 books. I have my spiritual book, my educational book, and my fun book. And I read through, 2 or 3 chapters of each every day with my huge iced tea, and I have a journal, and that's how I come up with my ideas. So everyone does it different. But what a good point to get out of the house and walk around.
Get out of your house.
Run around,
Which I haven't done yet today because I've been kind of crazy, but I do try. Actually, no, I did this morning, but I try to really listen to my audience and give people what they want. And I think sometimes we overcomplicate the sales process and we overcomplicate content creation. Give people what they want. If people are saying to you, I want a course around blah, blah, blah. I'm struggling with blah, blah, blah. My pleasures are this. We have the pain and pleasure list. That's basic psychology. Humans want either more pleasure, less pain. So whatever type of coaching, even if you're not a health coach, that's all people want. That's all humans want at the end of the day, this human species. That's all we really want. So if you can create content that speaks to pain and pleasure points, I mean, you're going to be golden. That's extremely profitable. And that's what we train our girls in our course, to just start there. Start listening to people and start creating content based on that.
Fantastic. So those are some great tips on how to crystallize your message, get it out to your audience. So one is get out of your space, organize your thoughts, let the creativity flow, and then pull. So I think those are 2 excellent points on really crystallizing your message and getting it out to your people. So let's kind of switch gears, because I know in your academy, you and your business partner are also doing educational videos, right? Which is amazing, and your lighting's beautiful. It looks like you guys are so on point, and a lot of people might look at that and be like, I'm never gonna get there. Like, how do they do it? So let's speak a little bit to the creative process and then the technical process of how you guys have achieved that kind of look and vision for your academy.
Yeah, so our academy has a lot of evergreen videos. So what we actually use, do you want me to talk about the technology of what we actually do?
Yeah.
Cool. So very interesting. So we got some DSLRs and we're like, all right, we're going to do it all professional cameras. So part of the academy is, and then I am very, I'm trying to think the word I want to use. I like to do things as if my client can do it too. I want to make it accessible. I want to always feel very relatable. Totally. So I said to my business partner, Jen, I said, I actually want to do a lot of the videos on my iPhone 7. I want to test it out. I just got it. It's got great quality. Let's see. So I've done a lot of them on that. You'd be surprised. The quality on it is amazing. That's literally why I got it. And we use Camtasia, which is just a basic, almost like an iMovie editing system. So we'll go in there, use the same camera right here that's on this, and we're all about lighting. So if you have great lighting, you can do anything. If you have a phenomenal camera, but you have crappy lighting, doesn't matter that you just bought a $5,000 camera. Like, it doesn't matter. So I tell girls, get an iPhone to start, get 2 box lights, a Diva ring light. We make sure our lighting is on point. I usually only film during the day. So in Chicago, that's anytime before 3 because there's natural lighting. And I will not film after that. I only do interviews or calls. And we film all of that for the Academy there. And so we kind of have been testing out, what do people like more of? There's a lot of academies out there that have really high-end DSLRs and everything's very edited. Jen and I are a little bit more, we want to be not rough around the edges, but we want to give it the real deal. We don't edit our stuff too much. We edit enough to be clean and to the point, but we don't want to make it where it's so polished that it's very jumpy.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be YouTube. So it depends what platform you're on. If these women want to grow on YouTube, it's going to be a little different than how you'd want stuff to maybe be in an academy. And taking your personality into account. We're very real deal with our girls. We're very yes. That's kind of my mantra and my branding. So for me, it's like, I don't mind if I mess up for a second in a video. I'm like, okay, hold on, guys. But some people want their videos of their academy to be like, oh my God, I can never say I can never say so. So it's interesting.
Then your videos would be very short. I say and like, all the time.
Me too. And so we've really had to work on that. And that's part of being great on video. You know this, is watching yourself, which is not fun. It's very awkward, but it's very necessary to grow as a professional. I watch every single video I do. I listen to every single podcast over and I take notes and I say to myself, wow, I could have really said this differently, or I could have approached this the different way. So that's what we usually do for our academy, is we do it either on a professional camera, but a lot of them are on our Macs with really good lighting.
Awesome. Well, what great points. And there's so much you can do with lighting. It's like right now I have natural lighting going on, but I also have a China ball right here because it gives that nice soft light. It's a little too low right now. I'll probably move it up for the next video, but it's a great option. It costs like $5, but if you pay attention to those things, it really does set you apart because, we all want to look at video and have it be visually pleasing. If someone's giving you a tutorial and they are, let's say, behind their computer and it's really dark, you know that they're filming the tutorial at like 11 p.m. So all you see is like their eyes glowing with the blue on the screen. You're going to click away because it isn't pretty. So especially females, we want it to be pretty. And there's so many ways that you can do that. And I love what you said about keeping it natural because people are paying or they're tuning in to see you. I think that's why your live streams are so popular, is because you let your energy out, you're bubbly, you're fun, you're standing up, there's tons of energy and you're just having a great time. And I think so many people struggle because they're like, they hit the record and then they instantly feel everything has to be perfect, everything is judged, and what the heck am I gonna do? And it's like, release all of that, just have a good time and have fun. It seems a little bit cliche, but it's true.
That's what I'm about. I'm all about, my business partner knows this. I am like, if it's not fun, we're not doing it. Yeah. I am all about having fun, having a good time. I'm very weird, goofy, silly. So for me, I do this because I love it. So every time before I get on, I like take a second to breathe. And I'm like, think of your avatar. Who is that woman? What does she want? What does she need? How can you serve her today in this message? And how can you make her day a little bit brighter? Because there's so many videos going out there that are dry, boring. So if I can bring any sense of just delivering the message in a new and unique way, then I'll do it. I'm always thinking, and my business partner and I together, we're always thinking, how can we be a little bit outside the box? So whether it's my podcast or my videos, I'm constantly thinking like, ooh, what if I add this? What if I do that? What if I kind of like switch this up? And that is something that I'm always trying to do, because I believe if you're 10% different than your competition, you stand out in the online space. And it's all about getting that attention. So ladies, if you're weird and goofy, be that. If you're not, you don't have to be. Then own your demeanor. I don't think you have to be loud to be popular. I think just owning who you are. There's a lot of women, Amy Porterfield, all these women who are a lot more conservative, I guess you could say, than me, and more together, but it doesn't mean you can't grow like that. I think women will write me and say, oh, do I have to do my videos just like you? I'm like, no, be you. Be you on video, and people will feel that it's genuine. And we all know what it's like when you see someone who's doing something that's not genuine. So that's my tip too, is just be yourself on video. Just have fun.
Yeah, and it takes time. Like, don't feel, and I love that you touched about the iPhone too. We teach that in Video U because it is an incredible instrument. You can get it to look so beautiful, but you do need to practice. Just record yourself. I used to record myself like getting ready in the morning, like from the ugly to the pretty. And I never like published it or anything, but I made that lens stay on me so I would get used to it, get used to my routines with it recording, because then when the camera goes on, you're not instantly like, you're like, okay, like this camera saw me in my sleep stylers last night. Like I'm okay, right? This is the
Wow. Getting comfy with the camera. That's cute.
totally.
Wow, that's so interesting. I'm going to share that with my audience too, or share obviously this with them because that's really great. That's a great tip. Wow.
It is.
Never thought about that.
Yeah, my dad, he used to like on film sets when the actors were having a hard time, or if he was doing like a behind the scenes video and they like weren't used to talking into the camera, he would put like a little eyeball right next to the lens. So they would like, no, you actually have to look right there like you're looking at somebody. So it's all these like little tips and tricks like you're talking about that make it so much easier when you realize I'm going to be flawed, I'm going to mess up. It's probably at some point going to be really embarrassing, but that's okay. Like one of my most popular live streams, my iPad like fell tumbling to the floor and you're just like, okay guys, like that just happens. Let's move on.
Yeah, and I always say you can delete the live. If it's horrendous and you really don't want to, you can always delete it. I deleted about only 2 because one, I had just mashed potato brain. I don't know what happened. And I was just, I think I said my name wrong. I'm like, hey guys, if you haven't, I'm like, what's my name? Oh yeah. It was just one of those days. I was like, oh my God, I text Jen. I'm like, Jen, I have mashed potato brain. She's like, yeah, me too. And then I just pulled it together and I said, okay, Angie, you can either give up or you could just film it again. And I was like, deleted it and goes, hey guys, welcome to the live.
Awesome.
Just roll with it. You can always delete it, ladies. You can always delete it.
Totally. I so relate to
because
this.
when you start to film a lot, and you'll relate to this, my life is literally, and your life is literally talking all day, podcasting, interviews, live videos for our academy. It's exhausting. And so your brain will sometimes just get a little mashed potato-y. And so you got to like center yourself, pull it together.
You start suddenly like saying beats instead of like video. It's just, yeah, it can be really
You're like,
frightening.
Wait, no, what is this? What am I even recording now? I don't. You just don't know what you're recording for anymore. You just kind of go with it. And you realize you're talking to yourself all day long.
Yeah, you feel a little nuts, but you know.
Literally just giving your people the real deal right now of what it's like to be at home and film all day.
It's true. It's so true. I really had to focus on my space this last week because I realized so much of my creativity, I'd come into the office to like start getting those blogs written or whatever. And I was just like, it's messy. Like I just couldn't do it. I needed to clean out my space so that I could feel like, oh, this is nice. And it looks so much prettier when it's blue instead of that awful beige. Like,
so you like changed it and everything.
I changed everything. Painted, put up some bookshelves and wall calendars and stuff. I was like, it needs to be pretty. And of course, not everyone needs to be that way, but you know, I'm a little OCD and I needed it to be pretty. So
yeah, your space is everything. You're a creative person, which is why I want to move. I mean, your environment plays a huge role. So that's a great tip for your ladies too. It's like, listen, if you don't feel inspired in your space, it doesn't matter how big it is or where it is. Find cute photos, find little, like, I love Buddhas. So like my whole home is Buddhas everywhere and it makes me just like feel good. So find little, you know, cute things, salt lamps. We have salt lamps everywhere. I mean, just find things that make you feel good. Yeah.
I just got this little mist that's called Clarity.
Oh my God, this is why I need to move in Cali, guys.
Right?
This is great.
It's got like essential oils in it, and it's lavender, mandarin orange, lemon, lang lang, and thyme. I'd spray it if you could sniff it, but it's so nice. I just am like, oh, okay, we're podcasting. Like,
we're like twins. I love this. I literally like lit a candle before you called me. I'm like, okay, here we go. It's cold and gross outside, but you know what? I'm gonna be all happy and sunny for this show because everyone knows it's crappy out. So guys, we do the weirdest things. So don't think that like you're weird if you're thinking like, I'm really nervous to get on. Should I light a candle? Should I light my incense? Yes, do it. It'll help you to create stuff.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's amazing. It really, it's all these little tips and tricks that really make a big difference. So I think that's fantastic. Well, I think those have been such like actionable tips. I don't really feel like I have to expand on any of that. Like you were talking about, we're just going to reiterate things. Make sure that you get out into your creative space. So like for me, I'm on a newsletter and it's called We Like LA. And every week it like emails me fun things going on in LA. And I'm not necessarily doing all of them, but I'm looking for like the free museum days. I'm looking for like these different events to help me get out of the house, get into my creative space. It's like I got a membership to Descanso Gardens because I can go and walk in all these gardens and, you know, go to the beach or whatever. So I know that some of us are hampered by environment and rain and snow and stuff, but just doing a little bit of that research and getting out of your normal routine does so much to your brain, how your neurons connect, how everything flows. So get out of your office and do something creative. Meet with girlfriends that are like-minded. I do that for coffee at least once a week with a girlfriend because it helps me so much. It's inspiring, and like people that are creative, they want to vibe off of other creative people. So, and like Angie was saying, work on your message, like poll your audience and make sure that you are in that creative space because it will help you so much with creating content.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. I think even for me, it is important. I try to spend time with, whether it's digitally or obviously in person, connecting with other women who have the same vision as me and know what this crazy life is like, because my friends who work 9 to 5 in corporate literally don't know what I do all day. They think I'm crazy. So you just gotta find good people. Like when I found you, I just knew. I was like, this girl's got it. Like she's totally like my people, because it's hard. It's a crazy life. Yeah. It's a crazy life. And especially if you're doing video. Mm-hmm. Yeah, ladies, it's all about building that confidence. And I think confidence is a muscle that you have to practice. I don't think every woman is just born confident. I was not born confident. I think people think, well, you must love video. I mean, yeah, I was in broadcast journalism. So I had, you know, I have to mention that was my background, but wasn't in it that long where I really was on any like huge TV stations yet or anything. I just knew some of the basic tools and tactics that they teach you in school about how to be confident, how not to mess up. But other than that, I mean, my first live, I was ready to like pee my pants. I was so nervous. And now I love it. I get so excited. I'm like, when I see in my calendar, I'm going to go live at 2 p.m. I get so excited. So I think if you do it enough, literally hundreds of times, you literally will like go live in your sleep. You'll be like, hey guys, like you could
let me give you a valuable message. Here it
valuable
is.
Message.
Okay,
literally, you could do that.
AKA my Insta stories. That's pretty much it. You've seen me. I'm like in the sleep style or curlers. I'm just like, look at the reality.
I love it. You're one of the people I watch on Instagram. It's so cute. It's so real.
Yeah.
Right. Honestly, that's a tip too, ladies. You don't have to be don't try to like, I think a lot of girls, and you can obviously chime in on this, are trying too hard on video too, with like their hair has to be perfect and everything has to like Miss America pageant. It's like, especially if you're a business coach, like just be yourself. I try to wear as minimal makeup as possible. I'll just, you know, brush out my hair real quick. I mean, I want them to know I'm a real person. I'm not like trying to be like, hello guys, welcome to something. So I don't know. That's kind of my take on it, ladies. Like, don't think that you have to like look like anybody else or be perfect either. Just get on, put a little foundation on if you need, and then just rock it.
Well, yeah, and I think that it's cool because people like to see the process both in front of and like behind the camera. What I mean by that is that it's one thing to like be in your e-course and see you when you've like got the stuff on and you got it going on and you got this really nice video, and then they tune into a Facebook Live and it's just you in front of your computer talking to them about something. Like, I love that because I feel like it's so much more relatable. So video is not confined into this one thing where you have to be this perfect, gorgeous person, you know? Definitely, me in photo shoots and recording, way different than Facebook Live, right? Oh my God.
Yeah. So even in our academy, we try to keep it as real. And if we do a lot of screen flows too, where I show PowerPoints. I love that. That for me is my favorite because that's how I learn, is I love seeing the bullets and the voice. So we'll just do some without even our face, and our audience loves that as well because they've already seen Jen and I so much on video. It's not like they don't know us. So we'll do a lot of screen flows. That's a tip for some ladies who are nervous. Start with screen flows. So you're doing a webinar essentially in your academy. So you get used to the cadence of your voice and sharing screens. Maybe put yourself in the corner. We'll do the corner videos and then do some big ones. Mix it up and find out what you're comfortable with. And be yourself. Just be you. You'd be surprised what people will invest in. They just want to work with you. So it doesn't need to be this like $50,000 camera, have a guy at your house every day filming you. I used to think I had to do that. I was like, do I have to hire a guy to come over every day?
Why do you think I married my husband, Angie? I mean, come on.
Hopefully he's not listening to this episode. I'm going to share it with him and find him on Facebook. Oh my God, it's so funny. Wait, he's a photographer, right?
Yeah, he's a camera guy. So he's overworking.
Oh my God, I totally am going to use him when I'm out in LA for like only like professional stuff. Does he do your photo shoots?
He loves it. Yeah, he does my photo shoots. He does my videos. He's over at Warner Brothers right now, which is like right across the street from me, on that show. Oh, I forget what it's called. It's with Vanessa Hudgens. It just started. It's season 1, and it's the people that are like behind the superheroes. So they're like in the office designing their equipment and stuff. Yeah, it's so much fun.
Stop it. I wish my boyfriend is not a photographer.
Gotta come out here. I'm telling you, just
yeah, I need
fun.
to meet with your husband. That's
we'll
why
go
I need
party
to move.
at Warner Brothers.
Oh my God. So ladies, you might not be married to photographer, videographer, but go grab a nice iPhone, get a little stand, get a Diva ring light.
Mhm.
Diva ring light is one of the best investments you can possibly make to make you feel confident, because when you turn that baby on, your skin, your eyes glow. It's like, woo, I'm awake. So get a Diva ring light. That is the #1 message we can give you. And then you'll feel confident, because once I got that, I was like, wow. Like, it helps a ton, because you actually feel like professional, and it is a professional camera. I mean, or professional lighting, so it's great.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's so important. Lighting, #1, sound, #2, and then like video, #3. I'm not trying to negate video, but if you don't have great lighting and you don't have great sound, there's not really a point. You know what I mean? I don't mean to be like rough or anything. Like, if you're live streaming, it's a little bit different, but if you're putting together presentational videos, especially for an e-course or an academy like Angie's talking about, it's so important to kind of understand that full scope. So do not feel overwhelmed. We're going to have a breakdown of all the show notes below if you're listening on your iPhone or on your Android, and you can also go to this episode, which is going to be 35 on the Visibility Vixen podcast. But Angie, so much fun. Come to LA. We need to ride our bikes around Toluca Lake like old ladies.
I know. And we can come over and like have little coffee dates and talk about video, and
it's gonna be fun.
like little old ladies. I love it.
I totally am. Like, from the waist down, I'm in sweatpants. Like, I'm not joking around.
I'm wearing Chicago Bears sweatpants. Okay, like, what do you think I'm wearing all day?
Exactly.
God, people think this life is glamorous. They just don't know.
Business on the top, party on the bottom. That's what the entrepreneur life is like.
I think the people in the podcast are probably like, what are they talking about?
No, what they're going to do is like, when I go live, I don't even need to wear pants. That is the point of this entire message. To be an entrepreneur, you don't have to wear pants. So
you don't wear pants, ever. Just don't wear. You could be naked, and as long as you're really careful, no one will know. Just don't make sure it doesn't fall.
Exactly. Just keep it, you know.
Oh my God, I love it. This was so much fun. I'm so excited. This is going to be a great episode for your ladies, for a laugh, for some giggles, and for some tips.
Well, I cannot wait for you to visit LA or move. I'm fine with either one. Thank you so much for coming on the show today and talking to our girls about messaging. Hopefully you guys feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more empowered, and can step forward in your visibility. And in the meantime, we will see you in the next episode.
Bye. Talk to you soon.